Hi, I'm Paul. Welcome to my channel, Group Hike Hinge Spike. Thanks for joining me today. Now today's session is about the kettlebell swing, kettlebell swing progressions. And I'm going to give you a very detailed progression list and setup for you to be able to do the kettlebell swing safely and correctly as possible. Now, okay, there are different ways to learn it, but this is the way I learned, and I've been doing the kettlebell swing for many years, and it's kept me strong and safe. And I've never had an injury through doing kettlebells at all in general, and especially through the swing, because I just learned how to do things correctly, and I practice the correct form each and every time, as we do with all other exercises. So I do encourage you to stay right to the end and learn all the steps and practice all the drills that I'm suggesting to you. Now, do like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot and helps for me to bring more content to you in the future. So let's get to it. Probably the question that a lot of people ask is, where do I start to learn how to do a kettlebell swing? Well, I think learning how to kettlebell swing begins with you knowing how to do a deadlift correctly. Now, the deadlift is a known exercise for most people. We all know how to do a deadlift, but in terms of using it to progress into a kettlebell swing, it's important that you understand a few things. So we want to begin the deadlift right here, right, so the bell is in the center between your legs. From here, we just want to hinge at that hip. We're doing a stiff-legged deadlift. So we're hinged at the hips. There's no squat involved, it's just a hinge at the hips. And we just let your arms relax and keep the shoulders square, and we want to take the bell and grip it with that monkey grip or the finger grip. From here, we want to drive through your heels and through your feet. Now, this is a good place to start to learn how to deadlift in order to progress to the kettlebell swing, because what I want you to pay attention to at this point is feet. We want the feet to face straight ahead, but you want to be able to try and activate your feet so it's gripping the floor, because that comes in really handy when you're doing the swings. So get back into that deadlift position, hinging at the hip and just gripping the kettlebell with your fingers. You want to drive through and activate those toes, activate your feet. And you should feel already the back of your legs, which is your glutes, start to activate, because you're using not your back, of course, but the strength through your legs, lifting your kneecaps in order for you to drive up kettlebell in the deadlift position. So again, bell's right in the middle. We're gripping our toes into the floor. Hinge, stay stiff-legged, square shoulders, grip it with the finger grip, and drive up through your heels and through your legs, and keep those shoulders square. Now, I like to keep my arms attached, and that way you know that it's just your body on your legs, the power and the energy for your legs that's making you, or helping you, assisting you drive up that bell into that deadlift position. Because the tendency is, sometimes when you're loose like that, if you leave the gap here, you tend to pull with your arms. But if we practice attaching our arms now, then you are actually just hooking up, and it's your legs that are doing the work to lift the kettlebell. Okay, first step. So I just showed you the double arm deadlift. Now I want to show you the single arm deadlift. Now, it's important to learn this as well, because we're trying to understand what's going on with this chain of movement and energy. So again, the kettlebell's right in the center. We want to hinge at the hips. Take the bell, of course, with one hand, but get the second hand to imitate that hand and just lay it on top of there, so it allows us to keep our shoulders square and our hands right in the middle of the bell handle, and we just drive up. Again, digging those toes into the floor and driving through your legs to create that energy that drives the bell up. Now, if you've got shoes on, you can still do this. You grip inside your toes and try and grip that floor even though you've got shoes on. Okay, again, 1. And really focus on what your legs are doing, what your butt cheeks are doing, lifting the kettlebell. 5, and that's 5. Switch hands. So a good drill to do is this drill where you're just practicing the single arm deadlift and still in the position of a deadlift. Okay, and drive again, toes activated, and drive up and place it down. Now that gives you a little bit of conditioning, so that just gets you used to your feet digging in to the floor. It also really gets you to flex your butt cheeks and flex your quads, so you can activate those muscles, so you're lifting strictly with your legs. Now again, go back to that position, keep your arm tight. Keep your arm tight to do it, because that's training you for what's to come with the other process of doing the kettlebell swing. Again, switching, imitate that arm, and right. And a good drill to do is maybe do that, 5 each side, left and right, and maybe do a set of, so that's a set of 10, that's one set of 10, do maybe 6, 7, 10 times. Turn it into a workout, but it also teaches you to really activate those muscles through your legs, through your core, through your butt cheeks. Okay, that's your second step. Okay, the third process that I like to use in order to learn the kettlebell swing progression is to use the kettlebell swing stop. Now, we're just going to be we're not going to do a full kettlebell swing squat, we're just going to do the back swing and then stop. So, from here, we're going to step up to the bell again as if we're doing the deadlift in that position, but we're going to take a natural step back, okay? Keeping that deadlift position. Again, as if we're deadlifting, hinge at the hips. Let your arms hang down and lean over and put your hands, grip the kettlebell right over the top of it and almost like drive the bell into the floor. And that'll give you a chance to adjust yourself and get your shoulders square. Now from here, we want to just lean back. As we lean back, you'll notice the bell starts to tilt. Again, put your weight over the top of it so you get used to that feeling, and then shift your weight back into your heels. When you shift your weight back into the heels, you'll notice that the kettlebell tilts onto the lip or the edge of the kettlebell. And that's where you're ready to begin the next movement. Okay, once again, from here, lean over the top of it and sit back, and you will feel the weight, your body weight should be right through, you'll feel it through here, through your glutes and through your butt cheeks, and this is when you start to grip the floor. Okay, now from here, we want to get into this position, okay? So, hinge, grip, lean back. From here, we just want to hike the bell so that our arms connect with our body, and then place the bell back where we got it from. Now this little drill, the great drill to use, is it just gets you used to pulling the bell back and making the arm connection, which is crucial for the timing of your kettlebell swing, and also crucial to give your kettlebell swing its energy every single time. So connect. Now, you want to do that drill over and over again. So let's start from the beginning of that process. Step up to it as if you're gonna double hand deadlift. Take that step back. Okay, feet facing forward. Hinge at the hips and put your full weight on top of this kettlebell. Now, lean back, shift your weight to your heels, and the bell will naturally tilt. From here, we just, now it's a good drill to use. Start to feel in your butt cheeks, maybe do 5 and then take a break, or 10. Let's say this is 10, and place it back down and stand up and relax a bit, and then maybe repeat that simple exercise, that small little drill, a set of 10, maybe between 8 and 10 times, just to get that feeling. You can use this in a workout as well. So the previous step you used was the deadlift, backswing, hike and stop. Right, so this one we're going to go back to your single arm again. So we follow that process again as I showed you previously in the video. Stand over the top of it as if you're going to deadlift with a single hand. We step back, okay, lean into it, put your weight into the kettlebell and just shift your weight back. Okay, again, step up as if you're doing a deadlift with a single hand. Take that natural step back. Okay, hinge at the hips. Grip the kettlebell and just lean into the kettlebell a bit, and then shift your weight back. Then you'll see the kettlebell will tilt naturally because your weight is going back and you had this angle. Then we want to pull and stop, pull and stop, pull and stop. And if you need to, put your hand on top of it, just to rest on top of it, so that we get your arm imitating the arm that's pulling and hike. So we call this the backswing or the hike. Shift hands. This is a good drill to use. And place it down and stand up. Now do that maybe 5 times each side and repeat that process of 10 reps at least 10 times to get used to that feeling, okay? So there's your next step. Now we are up to the stage where we're actually going to swing the kettlebell. Now we'll start with the single hand kettlebell swing, but we're only going to swing once and then go back to that stop position. So that previous stop position was from here, where we took that step back. Start to connect your feet with the floor immediately. Hinge, lean over the top of it with your single hand as if you're going to lift it up. And we just want to shift our weight. When you shift your weight, the bell will tilt naturally. Now from here, we want to swing it so our arms connect with our body. It connects, swing up and place it back down. Okay, so we'll use that energy this time to get that bell to fire, and get that bell to lift. Like so, okay? But we're only going to swing once and then go back to that stop position, okay? So again, here, we'll lean back and you can feel the weight shift through into your heels. We want to pull, connect, swing, and then come back down. 1, 2. Now engage your core, engage all your muscles through your glutes, and engage the power of your muscles and the power of this position as if you're, but of course you're not deadlifting, but you are swinging the bell. Or use that energy, okay? So from here, boom, and it's my hips that propel my arm. Not my arm swinging, it's not an arm swing, but it's the energy created by my hinging that moves the arm, therefore moves the bell. Again, and connect, and connect, and drive, and connect, and drive, and connect, and drive. Okay, now that's a good exercise to use, a good drill to use. Do 5 each side, makes 10 reps, and do that at least 10 times. So another thing you have to also understand is we need that arm to stay connected. Okay, from here, let's go through the whole thing. Step back, feel your toes now, engage, drive. It's like someone's pushing you down. Hinge, lean over the top of it, and then lean back. And you already can feel the weight in your heels. Pull and connect, and connect. Notice my arms are connecting. So we connect and stop. Connect and stop. Okay, practice that as many times as possible. Get that feeling. So the next step obviously is to swing the bell. Now we're going to go through 5 reps of swinging it with the one hand, a single arm swing. We'll go left side first. I like to go weak side first. Weak side first. We follow all the steps previously, and we're going to get the bell to this height, probably this height. But we don't want our arms straightening out. We want to keep them a little bit softer to protect that elbow, but also so that our arms stay as close as possible and connected to our torso. We don't want our arms like going out here, because they go out here, that's where the energy goes. We want that energy to stay here. So even though the bell is rising, still we're connected to the body that where the energy originates from. So down, and we want the bell to go up through the energy of that hip hinge and that hip drive. Step back. From here, hinge, lean over the top of it, and then lean back. And you'll naturally feel the weight shift into your legs and heels. It's tilted, connect, up. Now we're going to do 5. 1, and repeat that. Imitate it. Imitate. And 5. And swing, stop. Okay, let's go to the other side. Again, lean over the top of it and shift your weight back. Connect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. Now practice that. That set of 10. Do that at least 5 to 10 times. Take a break, repeat it. Do that as many times as possible, because that's your next step. This is very much your next step in order for you to learn the double hand swing. This is the step that you need to correct or get correct and to basically perfect before you move on and do a double hand swing. So if you've made it this far, congratulations. But here we are. We've only got 1/2 step left and 1 full step to go before we get to the double arm swing, is what I like to call it. Okay, so let's do that little half step before we get to the full step. Again, let's just go through those steps again, just to brainwash ourselves so we always get into this really good habit of using the same system or the same progress in order for you to do the kettlebell swing correctly and safely. Then we step over the top of it. Remember, it's the same position as if we're doing one hand deadlifts, double hand deadlifts. Our feet are facing forward. We take a natural step back. Okay, This is when you start activating those feet now. Engage your muscles now. Don't be relaxed or, like thinking it's just a simple exercise. We want to engage those feet now. Once you engage your feet, your legs start to wake up, your glutes start to wake up, and even your core. If you just touch your core, you can feel it straight away. Right. Hinge. Grip the bell, but lean over the top of the bell and then shift your weight to your heels. Obviously, you can see the bell has been tilted onto its edge from here. Okay, we hike, swing and stop. Okay, again, swing and stop. Back hike, swing and stop. And again, it's that same from the single arm. It's that energy, that motion that creates the energy and the hip drive and the hip hinge that allows the arm to rise and therefore the bell rise, because the bell's attached to your fingers. Again, we're going to go from here, lean over the top of it, shift your weight back into your heels. You'll see the bell naturally tilt, pull, connect, and stop, and stop. And when you're at the top of that drive, stand tall and connect and engage your leg muscles, your feet, drive your feet into the floor, engage your glutes. You'll feel it in your quads and in your core. Okay? There is hardly any strength applied to this when it comes to your hands and your arms or your shoulders. I'm just hooking it. Okay? And stop. Okay, so that little half step's really important. Do that. Turn it into a drill. 10 reps. Swing, stop. 10 reps, 10 sets. Take a break, do it again. Do that as many times as possible before you progress. Alright, so we are on the final step. Stand over the top as we're deadlifting. Feet forward. Now engage your feet and your quads, glutes. Hip hinge, grip, weight on top, and shift your weight back. Tilted bell, arms connect, swing. As I said before, if we're doing it properly, the bell should be floating. And I'll prove it. I can float it, right? And if I'm doing it properly, I should be able to go into a kettlebell clean. Okay? Because I'm the one who's providing the energy for the bell, my body. So I can slow it down if I wanted to. And I can let it go. Or I can turn it into a clean. Okay? So if you get the energy right on the kettlebell swing, you'll know that you're doing it properly because your body will let you know. And stop. As you would have gathered by now, you can tell that the kettlebell swing is definitely a full body exercise, okay? Because why? Because we're using our toes, we're using our feet, we've got our legs engaged, calves, your quads, your glutes, and your core. We keep our shoulders square and our arms are engaged and our fingers as well, because we're going to need to hold on to that bell so it doesn't disappear. And also our eyes, right, are connected. But the last point that I want to point out to you is your breath. Now I breathe on the way. I breathe on the way up and exhale on the way down. For example, so this is how it works for me. Engage everything, okay? Lean over the top of it. Shift your weight. And as you can tell, I'm breathing on the way down. Sorry, I'm taking a breath and blowing out on the hip drive. So I'm going from here now. That's my breathing pattern. You might actually want to do it a little bit different. Experiment with it, because you might feel better doing it in reverse. I find it better going from that swing position, because this is where I'm probably most active. At the top, sure, I'm active, but I'm not as tense because I finished driving with my hips. Okay, so experiment when it comes to breath and how you breathe, but I start breathing from the time I hinge, and I take enough breath in order for me to get through the exercise correctly and safely. Now I really hope that you go through all of that progress from step 1 all the way to the end, and if you feel like you need to leave out something in that process, do so, but be careful to do everything safely, okay? Because this is the reason why I did the kettlebell swing progression, so that you can learn it properly, but also to be able to do it safely. Now, please, if you enjoyed the content, do like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks for spending the time or taking the time to watch my video. Really appreciate it, and happy training. Train safe. I'm Step KettleBell. See you next time.